What's going on, y'all? Corpus Christi Originals back at it again, coming to you live from the Produce Streamlab studio downtown Corpus Christi, Texas. Today we got ZombieKing's vocalist, Juan Manuel. What's going on, dude?
What's up, everybody? Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, how's it going? So we met through TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw some of our stuff, and then you're like, hey, let me just, I guess, shoot my shot so you can be on the podcast, or what?
Yeah. So I'm like, so we were just talking about this. I got on TikTok maybe less than a year ago. I don't really pour much into it, but I'm trying to, build up my, I guess, individual portfolios, in a sense. And on my feed, I saw a few of your clips, and then I was like, you know what, man, it kind of makes sense to, collaborate with people from the area. And I'm a Corpus boy, and I saw your page, and I was like, no brainer, right? Like,
what school did you go to?
Miller.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. Yep. Buccaneers in the house.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's cool. It's rare we get some bucks in here. A lot of them are from Moody. They had to do it from yesterday, from RMA. But, dude, glad you're here, bro. Yeah. And, so you know Robert Beltran?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you know him, well, I guess from the neighborhood or whatever, or because y'all are recording with him now, or?
Yeah, so we got put in touch with him really through some of the guys that he's worked with in the past. Do a little shout out to Shattered Sun. Those guys, from Alice, Texas. They're still doing their thing. I think they're trying to do a little comeback. They just had a show a couple of months ago that we were on. But that kind of like brought us together with Robert. He's the guy in town in the area that does rock and metal, and that's what he specializes in. So we were like, let's go try that out. And so we've worked with him the last I want to say 4 years, 4.5, 5 years. Yeah.
What's that been? So the change has that been? What's that like as far as changing recording engineers to him now? Is it a different recording process for you guys?
It's so it's weird because you would think there would be less less creative freedom or less say so, but it's still all there. I guess the biggest thing is we have a lot more direction now. There's that extra member of the band who's not really, but he's there watching, and he's the guy to kind of just bounce ideas off of. Or if we're kind of just getting too crazy with things, like, hey, bring us back in, and like, this is your bread and butter. Let's stick with this, Yeah. Whereas before, the few guys that we've worked with here in town, it was kind of like set up the mics and set up everything. Do your thing.
Wow.
So, and they had their ideas too, but it was more of like, we're going in, we got our ideas, this is what we're going to do. And now it's more of like, hey, we should try this just in case. Even if it doesn't work, let's get everything out there, put it all together, and then end product is pretty much what we've been putting out now. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, shout out to Robert Beltran, which I think it was in the same grade. Graduated the same year, but Excrete was their band that they were in with Seth, and I can't remember the other dudes in there, but yeah, shout out to them. And actually, I had a band 2000s, and we recorded with Robert. I had no idea he had a studio in his home. So anyway, so you guys are open to the ideas that he might have for y'all's stuff?
Most of them, yeah. And there's even and he'll tell you himself, there's times where he's tried stuff and he's like, oh shit, that didn't work out. You know what? Yeah, no, you guys were right. Let's try this again. So it's cool. It's like a kind of 50, I would say like maybe 60-40. I was gonna say 50-50, but no, he lets us do our thing too. So
yeah. That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's cool. So he's working on y'all got a new EP coming out in the summer of 2024.
Yeah.
What is the Reveling?
Yeah, man. Originally scheduled to release late last winter, and we have and it's something that keeps happening throughout our career. We had a few setbacks, pushed the dates back, and now it's looking like summertime is going to be when this EP is going to drop. We had a single drop late last year that was Paralyzed. That's the first track that we've dropped from the EP. We have another one coming soon. I would say in about a month. So we're 4 or 5 weeks out from dropping the next title track, The Reveling. So
okay, yeah. So you're dropping songs from that EP one by one, like Is that
For
what
the
you're saying?
most part, I think we're gonna by the time summer comes around, we're gonna have I think maybe 2 songs that haven't been released yet. So that'll be with the album drop. Yeah,
Cool, man. That's what's up,
yeah.
dude.
But we try to do that. We try to keep consistent, and every couple of months, hey, drop another single.
Why is that? Just so people. Is it a
You know
marketing
what? I
thing or
think it works for us best here, man. We don't have as far as we haven't yet put together a full album of like say your 10 or 12 or 15 or so songs, right? We don't have that. We have material. We just haven't had the means to like put that all together. And so what we do have is like a handful of things, and we're like, hey, like let's stay busy, let's stay relevant, let's stay just grinding. So like let's drop whatever we have at the time, and that's just what it's been, and it's worked for us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And so you guys are signed to. Are y'all still signed?
Yes and no. So our music is we have a 50-50 partnership with Pavement Entertainment for the first EP that we dropped in 2020, Dead to Life. And so they own half of the rights of all of the music that's on that EP.
Oh, wow.
But we are free to sign it with any label. So we're still doing our thing.
Yeah.
So it's still for us very much DIY. So
Right on, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess you guys got to start touring or playing in different places. How are y'all approaching that aspect of y'all's journey, I guess?
Yeah, so that was the next step that we've talked about a lot this year. We wanted to do it last year, but like I said earlier, there were a lot of setbacks with us. And I guess I'll get to that eventually. But we want to shoot for doing like San Antonio, Austin, Houston, maybe even as far as like Dallas, the Valley. So that's the next step for us.
Right. So you have to make those days or find out.
Right.
Okay. So
that's all on us, man.
Yeah. It's not like the label does it for you. You actually do it for yourself.
And we actually, so we're not signed. So it's like we're doing everything ourselves. And what's neat about it is we're really working with guys or connections that we've made in the past, like through playing shows here in the area. So that's why we named a lot of the cities that I named. They're bands in almost all of those that we've worked with. So we're like, hey, we're gonna reach out to them eventually and like, let's go help you guys out. You got a show coming up, we'll open for you guys, or we'll, and vice versa. So
so that networking is good.
Yeah.
So I guess it pays to like not hate on other bands, I guess you can say. Because you never, right? You know what I mean? Cause
it's tough though, man.
It's hard.
Like,
it's hard.
I feel like every scene has that.
Of course, yes.
And it's like
oh my God,
dog, man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
No, we felt that. Like, oh man, I've heard so many. It's hilarious, man. But but I get it, because I was that little kid that was like, I want to get out there, man. And like, oh, they got a shot. What about us? What about us?
Yeah.
And it's like you got to put in the work to get there, and it all makes sense now. It's like But maybe I feel like a lot of those guys are probably in that position that we used to be in. Like, yeah, man, we should be doing this, but make it happen, man.
Put in the work.
Yeah.
Grind it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, grind it out and get there. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you're the vocalist of the band, original vocalist of the band, or?
Man,
because
So Eddie and I will kind of go. I would say man, because because they had a guy trying out probably a couple of months before I joined, but they were in the garage. They hadn't played anywhere, So us as a full like unit, like playing live shows, like this is the OGs are myself and Eddie, the guitarist. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Is Eddie the one with the? I think the Tosino. What is it? What's the dude's name? Tosino Bossy or whatever. He's got that guitar.
Yes,
that's him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bossy,
yeah. That's
for
cool,
sure, man. It's such a beautiful guitar, man. That thing is
Do you play guitar?
A little bit, man.
Okay.
I dabble, but I'm not really. Yeah, no. I focus on just singing. Man. I play a little, like play some piano. I play guitar, but I really like. I tried each instrument out, and I was like, I got as far as I could with each.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's not for me. And I'll still go back and play, some guitar, just chords and singing along. I really love it more for accompaniment. It's like I love to sing, so I'm like I need something to go with it. So either that or if I have a keyboard around. But voice is my thing.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Garza, for all the gifts. Thank you, everybody, for joining the TikTok. We got somebody in there with a triple star. I don't know if you know who that is. He says, "What's your favorite band inspiration?"
Damn.
Or bands.
Right off the top of the head right now, favorite band inspiration. Let me go with something that's kind of inspired this next record right here. I'll say Coheed and Cambria because of their ability to just take an idea, a dream, a concept, and turn that into something that's just like they've done wonders with what like their whole catalog is like just an insane story, and that's for me, that's goals. Like I want to be able to be a storyteller the way they're able to do that. And yeah, Claudio's an insane vocalist, guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
awesome. Yeah.
That's just one of them, man.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, there's a bunch of old OGs too, you know, Maiden and Metallica, you name them, they're all there. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that's pretty cool. I'm not, I don't follow them, but that sounds pretty cool how they had an idea. So does it span across the whole album? That like their ideas for?
So they've got, man, what record are they on now? Man, they're like on either like 9 albums now. One of them was out of all of those, only one of them is not a concept record. And the others are, they all follow this saga. It's almost, wow. People liken it to like Star Wars or something like that.
Cool,
you know? Man.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It reminds me of Tool, like Tool or one of those prog metal bands, you know.
Yeah,
for sure. That's awesome, man. Yeah. So let me see, recording process with what's the hardest song to sing live, or the easiest song to sing live from your set?
Oh man, you know what? I would have to say I'm so comfortable with all of the old songs on the set list, all of the old EP, the Dead to Life EP, anything before that, or Exit Life or whatever, our early demos. Those are all like, put me on stage, I'll get it like that.
Yeah,
it's the newer stuff that gets me, and it's not because of any like I'm not capable of it. I've had some things happen to me in the last like 2 years that has really limited me physically. So hitting certain notes or like doing certain things on stage in the moment, like with all the energy and the crowd going wild and like you're out of breath, you're moving around, you're jumping. Certain times I find myself just like, oh shit, I'm not gonna reach that note, or I'm gonna I might just mess it up. But I get through it. I get through it just fine, but I get in my head sometimes about the new stuff. So I would say, the new songs.
Well, so those are the hardest.
Yeah, like right now, like Paralyzed. Like I can do it, man. I can do it for sure. But my thing is sometimes physically I'm like hurting hitting those notes. So, and I don't know if anybody like notices that while we're on stage, because we do a pretty good job of like covering up any little mishaps or things like that. So
live is different, definitely.
No, yeah, and you feed off the crowd, so it's like, hey, fuck it, like I'm going all in. If I hit it, I hit it. If not, they ain't gonna know it. Like they're gonna, it's gonna work. I'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah. So do you use the in-ears, or do you rely on the monitors on the floor?
Right now, I don't do in-ears. That's for me, like personally, that's next step for me. And the other guys have talked about it too. The only one that has the in-ears would be on the drummer. Everyone else is just monitor.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't mind, but I feel like all the way up to this point, I feel like I've almost always had trouble hearing myself.
Oh wow.
But it doesn't matter to me right now because I stay on time as long as I hear the guys. Give me some guitar, or give me some bass, give me a drum in the back.
Yeah.
I'll stay on. But I would love to at one point just have it all there and not have to exercise so much of that extra effort.
Yeah.
It would help me vocally too. It would help me like probably hit everything that I need to hit.
Yeah, that's what's up. Did you take like vocal training, or did you teach yourself when you first started singing?
Yes and no. Knocked Loose. Hell yeah. They were just on Sick New World, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's 3 stars?
Yeah, so we got if you're listening, we got a comment through TikTok. It says, "Have you heard Knocked Loose?" They have a song that they used reggaeton beat on their breakdown. No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be interesting to hear. Yeah, Knocked Loose. So was that a band?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay.
Yeah. Man, what was I forgot what I was getting at.
Yeah, no, I asked you about your vocal
Training,
yeah
lessons.
Yeah.
So yes, I did take lessons. But I actually had been like from a young age, like 3, 4, 5 years old, always singing whatever my parents had on. You know, it was always something that I loved doing, but I didn't really think about it. I just did it, you know, just like whatever, like emulating whoever they had on. And a lot of times, like, it was very different stuff. It wasn't like rock and metal. There was a little bit of rock in there, but it was like the 80s or 70s or like, you know, the older.
Oh yeah.
Some of it was like glam or whatever. Journey, Def Leppard, all that stuff.
Those are like some of the best singers.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm like, but a lot of it was also like you had your like funk and R&B. You had like Tejano, you had Selena, you had like, which a lot of us have, you know, listened to growing up because of our, you know, parents, grandparents, right? But yeah, no, I did love singing at an early age. It wasn't until I was in college. I want to say I was like probably my second year in college at Delmar. I took vocal lessons with Dr. Rada there, and I don't know if he's still there. He might not be there anymore. But man, I took maybe 2 semesters of it. I was like, I feel like I got what I need. And even he said like this is all the stuff you need to do at home. It's all on you to like take it home and do it yourself and not have that person there directing you.
Did you do actual classical pieces with that?
Yeah. So there was a lot of classical, and it was all over the place. Old like folk songs, Irish, German.
Oh, so different
Italian.
languages.
Yeah, so yeah. Oh. And I didn't learn the languages, but I learned them enough to get through the music. Like you learn the words for those pieces, and that was it. Move on to the next, and he always switched it up, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because you gotta like enunciate certain sounds, and that makes you a better vocalist, I think. I mean, do you find yourself utilizing that stuff in your stuff now?
One thing actually, there was one thing he said way back. This was maybe my second semester. We were he had a project for us, like we would go in and sing a song that we love, something that inspired us, perform it in front of him, and he would grade whatever our you know, technique or whatever. And I think I did Audio Slave. I think I did I'm Not the Highway, or I think it was that one. Or I Am the Highway, sorry. And I don't think it was when he was grading me on that one. He told me, I think before we picked music, he mentioned about country music. Most singers, like at the tail ends of phrases, they'll end the phrase early, but keep that note going way longer. Whereas like more classically, like say like you're ending with like a E, like they'll go right to it. Whereas like classically, you'll like stretch it like hey, like you'll draw out a sound longer than it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, to keep going longer. I forget how he worded it, but that was one thing that stuck out to me, and I notice it in pop music now. I notice it on like radio, like hits. I'm like, okay, little things like that could change, like it make or break a song, you know?
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So you read music? That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but yeah, if I need to, yeah.
Yeah. So so you mentioned one of your bandmates. He was in college with you? I think I read it somewhere. I can't remember.
Eddie was. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We actually we crossed paths. This must have been like 2009, 2010 when we were both at Delmar taking classes. He was doing like liberal arts or something, and I was over doing like accounting or business management. And in between that, there's probably a lot of people, if they were at Delmar at the time, they might remember. I would sit at either like the Harvin Center or like the Kohl's building or one of those. I would take my guitar with me in between classes because sometimes I would have to wait like up to an hour, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, I need something to do, right? I just don't want to be like sitting there bored or whatever. Take my guitar and just fiddle around, start singing stuff. I'm just playing little chords or whatever. And more like a handful of times, this dude comes walking by in the hallway and like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Nice guitar, whatever. Yeah. Eventually, like third or fourth time, he's like, hey, sits down. He's like, you mind if I play real quick? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? He sits down real quick. Just freaking going to school, you know? Like, I'm like, bro, this guy's got it. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to stop bringing this with me because I don't know how to play this. No, but like, yeah, he was just like, I was like, man, he's crazy talented. It never went past us talking, like crossing like that. You know, it wasn't until 2014 when I put myself out there, like looking to join a band, and these guys had an ad on Craigslist.
Wow.
Yeah. Going to find out, I end up showing up, and after the rehearsal or whatever, or the tryout, I mean, you know, I looked at Eddie and I was like, man, do I know you? And he's like, yeah, we're from, and we were like trying to figure it out. Yeah, sure enough, we're like, man, oh yeah, that's right. We used to run into each other at Delmo. That's fucking wild. Like 5 years later or whatever. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
That's what's up. So wow, so you didn't start. So y'all didn't start in high school. It was more in the college age.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So is that the first time you started looking for a band? Is that the first band you've been in?
Yes, it's the first time I was in a band or joined a band or tried out. I had been already looking around for at least a year before that. I would go to open mics around here. I would go to House of Rock.
Right.
And then I started jamming with some guys. It wasn't really a band. It was just like I would go to open jam sessions with I don't know if you remember Imperial Cafe.
Yeah.
Behind Best Buy, right, on Corona.
Mm-hmm.
So my homie Eric, whose family owned that place, he used to do like every Thursdays would be like a college night.
Yeah.
But they would do like open jams, and it would get crazy packed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went because a buddy of mine, my friend Mike, had gone. He was like, "You got to check it out." He pulled me over there.
Yeah.
So I ended up sticking around and going almost every week and jamming with all the guys there.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's really what I was doing before, and a lot of that was like more like reggae, ska, alternative.
I remember hearing I heard a band in there one time. They were doing like hip hop. It might have been you guys. And then one time I went, there was like a jazz group.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of guys that I still see around town that used to go to that too. I don't know if you know Tello, Adrian Tello. He used to go there. Okay. There was Eric Enriquez, a drummer. I think he used to go there too. Man, there was a bunch of dudes that used to jam there with us. But yeah, that's really what when I started. Even before that, like when I was going through college, one of my best friends, who was my roommate at the time, his band used to jam in my garage. They would rehearse every other weekend or so. So that kind of started the itch too for me wanting to try it out myself. Yeah, I would hear them. Not that they were bad, but I'm like, man, I feel like I can do that too. So that kind of led to me wanting to like, maybe that's what I need to do. I always like singing anyways. Maybe I should try out for a band. You got peer pressured into it. Yeah. It worked out though.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. So you guys are some of you guys are from Robstown. Is it,
yeah.
Okay.
So Drew, the bassist, and Eddie, the guitarist, they are from Robstown. Those guys grew up together, went to school together. They've known each other, their whole lives. Yeah. And I joined through that ad that I saw online of Edward. And at the time, he was jamming with a different drummer, Havo. Shout out, Havo. What's up, man? Yeah. They were... Oh, hell yeah. Linkin Park? Yes. But I heard they might have a female singer.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Who knows, man? I think if they find the right one, they can do it. But yeah, as long as they have that spirit and like they honor everything that Chester did, I think it's a cool move, man. I'll go watch it.
Yeah, if you're listening, there somebody asked on TikTok. It said excited that Linkin Park might do a reunion tour, and I heard that it might be that girl that actually did a song with them.
Okay.
There was a girl from I don't remember her name, but they were saying that she might be the singer.
Okay.
For the tour. Right. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. And one of your songs was influenced by actually Chester and the dude from Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, yes. And that was, oh my gosh. And I'm still throwing little Easter eggs in there too. Like, lyrically, like if people like really like sit down and read them, they'll see little bits and pieces that I've just like, I didn't realize how big of an inspiration they were until they passed away. And I had never really big celebrities, big artists, musicians, bands or whatever, when they would like, you would see that somebody would pass away. You see on the news all the the bad stuff. None of them really ever made me like. They never really like hit me hard, right?
Yeah.
But when Cornell passed away, Soundgarden, Audio Slave, I was like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I felt weird, man.
Yeah.
And me and my ex at the time, we were like driving. We heard it on the news, and we were like both like, what? Like, no way. Like, that guy? Really? What? And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, man, this guy was a bigger influence on me than I realized. Like, it's one of those things, like, you're like almost nostalgic too. Like, you turn on that music or you hear it so often, it's like you're comfortable. You're at home,
Mm-hmm.
So that one was like, that one kind of got me freaked out a little bit. I was like, damn, dude, that one hit me. And then, Chester too. It was, middle school, high school, like everybody was jamming Hybrid Theory, Meteora, like aside from like System of a Down, Korn, Slipknot, all those guys we were jamming all that stuff too. Yeah. Mudvayne, whatever. But everybody, Linkin Park was like one of those big bands that almost everybody was like, yes, we love them. We're gonna check them out. Like, so that was huge influence too, man.
Yeah, and they both died of the same thing, man. Yeah. It's like, damn, seriously, what's going on?
Whatever that was, a belt on a door.
Yeah, I don't know. They both killed themselves. That's what I was thinking.
Something like that. I was like, unalived or whatever, right? For TikTok purposes, but yeah,
for sure, man. I think Soundgarden had more of an influence because I'm more 90s. I listen to so like
that's my shit, man. Grunge is like
The arrangements are awesome, and the way Cornell would go around those different chords that wouldn't even. It was weird because the chords wouldn't be in the key; they would just like transpose for a few chords. You know what I mean? And that was cool with the way he did it. Yeah. And I even still listen to
his range, man, was insane. Yeah, that was the one thing that got me too. I was like, man, there's not really another voice like that anymore. And it's hard to find those unique voices that can just like do almost all of it, because he could get aggressive too if he wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I was
and you would
say.
Hear that on like older tracks, but but beautiful at the same time. So it's that's goals for me. To have a universal singing voice. So many of the new cats out here that are jamming, they love like the hardcore heavy shit, and that's cool too, man. I love bands who have like screaming vocals or guttural, harsh, heavy vocals. That's awesome. I jam a lot of it too. But the goals for myself, I want to be able to sing and have it be timeless too. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times the heavy, harsh vocals aren't they don't have that I guess that chance of being timeless like the other I guess sung pieces would have. Yeah.
Do you find that you're still finding your I guess your voice as a vocalist?
I think I've found what works. I found what works with this band. What's weird is like we're only scratching the surface right now too, because I know before I joined these guys, I know when I'm not there jamming with them, when I'm at home, my influences, like the genres are like almost all over, like they're all over the place. So it's I know I can do a little bit of, I can do like some clean stuff. I can do reggae. I can do R&B. I can I can do all of those things. Yeah. It hasn't presented itself like in the band yet. But it will eventually, I know.
So is your thing like to stay with the band or to work with other groups? Like what's your, I guess, your personal goal as a musician?
So I'm all for any of us in the band working with other guys, like working outside, whether you're doing a feature or full on like side project. But we know that to be at our best, like to do our best work, the focus has to be on ZK, 100% of the time. It's hard to do that when you have so many other commitments around recording with us, playing live shows with us. Yeah. And that's where a lot of the setbacks that come back for us personally. I don't have anything else going on outside of the band right now. I've entertained it. I've thought about, hey, if people need a voice on whatever music around. I'm not that plugged into the scene as you would think. Like I'm Corpus born and raised, but I see a lot of people put things out like here, and even with all the produce guys, like, you know, I see like house or like R&B. I see different like music going out, and I'm like, I have a gift or I have a talent to offer. If people need, you know, vocals, I'm down to do it. I don't see why not, you know, and it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt the band. It wouldn't take much from me. You know, I love writing. It helps. It honestly helps me out. The way I work best writing, when I get like a writer's block, I step away from that piece to work on other pieces until I get that spark again to get this piece going again. You know, so that's something I picked up from piano class way back. You know, learning music, you're gonna get stuck at times. But don't stop. Just step away. Work on this instead. It'll probably spark something or give you ideas that you needed in this other piece. So that's how I work, especially with writing too.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's awesome. Thanks a lot, you guys, for joining. What's going on? Appreciate you guys on TikTok, and Jesse Ochoa on Facebook. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Talking about writing music. So what's the process like whenever you're writing with the band? Because you write for yourself, right? And then do they bring you the song and like, hey, put vocals to this, or do y'all write it together, or how does that work?
Most times, except for I guess this last one or two songs that we're still finishing up in the studio. We still got to master a few songs that are from the EP, the new EP. All of the songs prior, we've almost always had Eddie write riffs, and we kind of just build off of that. We take that to studio, we do pre-production, or we demo at home at our jam spot. Add, you know, drums and bass with that. They jam, we figure something out, we try to get a full song. That gets thrown to me if I'm not present. A lot of times we're back and forth. The guys are based in Robstown, so sometimes I can't make it over. So we'll a lot of times email back and forth, Eddie and I.
Oh, crazy.
That's how a lot of it's been up to this point. And we're trying to do things differently now to where we're all in the same room and just throwing out whatever is on the spot to see what now sticks, you know? But yeah, a lot of it's been starts with Eddie, and then the guys jump in. They all put the music together. They get ideas or rough demos. They get sent to me so I can start getting ideas for vocals. A lot of the times the melodies and patterns come out first. Sometimes I have already lyrical content that I want just for that piece, and I work around that idea, and then I put the patterns to whatever words that I have in mind for that.
That's cool.
So it's Do
you find the stuff? Is it in the same key? Most of the stuff y'all write?
A lot of it, yes. We've got, I think the entire Dead to Life, I think except for the track Texas Sky, that one's different tuning, but all of the others are the same. And then the new stuff, now I think now we're in a different tuning again. But I mean, it works.
Do you have to adjust much going from one tuning to the other?
No. It's been pretty consistent, like as far as vocals go. And if anything, I've gotten less harsh, less. When you're young, you're just like going all out and like
less harsh on your vocal cord.
Right. Yeah. And it's one of those things where like when you start off, you see with like a lot of bands do it, like say like Avenged Sevenfold or somebody like that, where like M Shadows was like, you hear the first record or two and you're like, holy shit, wow, he's screaming his like lungs out. Same with like Slipknot, right? And then you see like a shift to where it's like more controlled vocally, right? And so I think that's where I'm getting to now. Yeah. To where like I know when to turn it on and off, or use it without like overdoing it and messing myself up. You know, 'cause that's one thing I don't ever want to happen is to like to lose, because like then what am I good for? You know? Like,
I saw a TikTok video. The singer from Mudvayne was, he was like, "This is what my voice sounds like before the show," right?
Yeah.
And have you seen that one?
Chad, yeah.
With his
Awesome,
his vocal coach, his vocal coach comes out with him.
Yeah.
Right?
What's her name? Cross, right? I think it's
I don't know.
I think that's her name, Melissa Cross.
Apparently, she teaches a lot of the dudes in the scene. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. She's kind of creepy to me. But
Yeah. Right
she's got a look in her eye. I'm like, man, something's up with this chick. But she's teaching everybody those fucking badass vocals. So I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's funny, man. Yeah. Christina Reyna on Facebook. Appreciate you. ZK all
What's
day.
Up? Love y'all.
Barbie Ramos. Appreciate y'all for commenting. Yeah, that's awesome. Dino Cornell. Yeah. Yeah, man. Whoa, that's good stuff there, buddy. Let's see, upcoming EP. What else we got here? Future aspirations and goals, live performance and touring. So you said you're not much into the South Texas scene. I mean, what's it like for I guess being in South Texas, a metal band in South Texas? What's the scene like, or is it? I mean, what's it been like for y'all?
So we aren't as plugged in as we would like to be, and that's because we've, for the most part, had to just play here in town. But we have, like I was saying earlier, we've connected with a lot of bands that I think eventually it's going to pay off in the long run when we finally do, like, say, maybe even later this year, when we finally want to get out of here and go San Antonio or Dallas. So, and we've played, I don't know the number of shows we've played. We need to count them one day. We need to get, like, Jesse, we need to get, like, Eddie and everybody on that and count number of shows, even if we didn't, like, get on stage and actually play, but we were on a fucking bill, right? But no, we have played mostly here at, like, Rich's House of Rock. We've played a couple of times at Brewster Street Ice House now, downtown. Those are great gigs, by the way. And our most recent one, that was in February, early February, we played with Shattered Sun. They had a reunion show, and man, 800 something people, almost 900.
Wow, that must have been 900 fun,
heads,
dude.
and it was fucking wild.
Wow, that was fun.
It was
I
a great
bet you.
Time.
Man, that's awesome.
It was great, man. I remember every second of it. We had played before during COVID at Brewster's with Shattered Sun and a couple other bands, and that was 2020. Like, I think after the summer, it was like Halloween, I think. Yeah. And only tables, right? You had to buy like 6 or whatever tickets all together. Wow. So everybody's seated. It was not the kind of show that we normally play. You know?
Crazy.
So it was just like surreal for us to do that. And we were like, we did it. Yeah. The energy was way different.
Wow, crazy.
You know? And I remember leaving that show, and I'm like, man, that just didn't hit the spot like the way I thought it would. You know, like, it's been a dream for us to get on stage, like at Brewster's. We want to do Concrete Street. We want to do the Bang Center. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, that didn't.
It didn't work.
Did that really just happen? Because that didn't seem like a great show for us.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about the A.V. Quintanilla controversy.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh man, that's. Bro, I don't know. He apologized, right? He said something about like not taking his meds.
Something
I
about
think it's just like mama or something. Dude. I think it's just like he's just like entitled. Like you're not gonna stand up for me. Like you're like nah. That's definitely. I think it's just ego attitude.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If it was meds, then hey, man. Shit. Yeah. Don't forget them next time.
But I mean, maybe
if
like
there is a next time.
Yeah, maybe like you're saying, like that show that you were at. Maybe they were something similar to that because you said people were sitting at tables.
Yeah.
And you were playing. Wow.
Yeah. It was mostly seated. There was a little spot for like some people to get up and stand up front by the stage, but it wasn't the same, man. But this last one, like I said in February, it was 800 something heads. That's almost. It was, I want to say like 860 or something like that. And man. I enjoyed every second of it, man. I remember being on stage and just like, little breaks in between my vocal parts and like just soaking it all in, man. Amazing. Just staring at every single person that was there. Like, this is what it should have been like the last one, And in my head, I'm like, we're going to do this again. And I want it to be even bigger and better next time, Yeah. So that's where our heads are at, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. I hope you guys get there, man. That's awesome. Mary Ali, thanks, appreciate you. JD Vieira, he says he was there at Brewster's. Jesse Ochoa.
Yeah, all local bands. I think we had one from San Antonio.
Yeah.
Local bands, yeah.
Yeah, and Shattered Sun, they're from Alice, yeah?
Yep.
That's amazing. That's awesome, dude. So what's man? I wish your bandmates were here. We could have made that conversation a little longer, but that's all right. So songwriting process, live performance. So what's what's in the future for you guys? Future aspirations in terms of musical achievements and maybe personal growth as artists.
So up next, we want to really we want to get this EP rolling. The release of this EP, like we said, it's going to be probably sometime in the summer. First, we want to drop another single and then get everything else packaged and ready to go for the full release. The next goal for us would be to start shopping around to see if there's any partnership that makes sense with any labels. Mm-hmm. That's a big goal for us to see what's out there.
Yeah.
And and then full album.
Nice, man.
You know? We have enough material.
Yeah.
Just in the vault, just locked away. We're like, we can record.
Yeah.
Like if we had, somebody backing us, just throw us in the studio, dude, we'll come up with 20, 30 songs,
Crazy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, dude. Yeah. So, and the first signing that you had, you actually sent them a demo or something like that?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they actually called you guys back on that one.
For sure. Yeah. So what we used on that time, it was we had dropped a single. It was our first Exit Life. That was back in 2017. We had been jamming for we had been playing live shows for about 2 years by that point. We went and recorded that song, dropped it on YouTube. I want to say when we shopped it around, we must have had it around 10K views or something like that. We sent them that link with the track together. They were all for it. They're like, okay, it's good stuff. We like where you're headed. So then we started working together with that partnership deal.
Crazy.
For the first EP. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. How's it going, Francesca? Thank you for joining, man. Mama. Yeah, dude, that's awesome, bro. So any final thoughts you like to share? We're coming up on 45 minutes here. What do you think?
Actually, I want to do a little bit of I guess a little shameless plug. Anybody that's tuning in, like from here, the Corpus area, the local area, people that haven't heard about us, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, YouTube. We throw everything on our Instagram and Facebook, and we're on all streaming platforms too, man. Pandora, Spotify, Apple. We're on it all. We on our socials, you can find us as ZombieKing Official. For a lot of people that haven't hopped on board yet, you know.
It's awesome.
We want to get out there a little bit more, man. We feel like we've got a good following here locally, but there's still so many people that don't know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too has to do with our band name. I think people read that or see that and they get kind of they assume that it's a certain type of music or certain genre. I still get people asking me like, you do that screamo, like heavy shit, right? And I'm like, actually, if you genre music, like you would see like it's really accessible to like damn near everybody.
Yeah.
It's just a different killer name,
It sounds kind of like radio friendly too. Like it could be played on like a rock radio station.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Shout out to Monty Montana.
Oh yeah.
He played us a lot back in the day, man. He was still on C101.
He's not there anymore?
He's not there anymore. I think he's on Classic on 104.5 or so, yeah. Him, Rios, Rex, Hitman, they've all helped us out a lot, man.
That's awesome.
So they're all, they were most of them were at the last show too at that first year's one. So
that's what's up. Now, what's the story behind the name anyway?
Oh man, that would be a story for Eddie to tell you, man.
Okay.
He came up with the name. It was already a thing when I had joined. Like it was kind of already there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Even like y'all's designs are pretty sweet too, man. Like on the albums or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Does one of y'all do it or y'all?
No. So the most recent for Reveling, we shopped around and I found a guy. One of my good friends, DJ here in town, Ray Marauder, he put me in touch with his homies back in Seattle, where he used to do a lot of drum and bass. One of them happened to be an artist too. He put me in touch with him, Seth Grimm. We told him what we were kind of looking for, and he made that happen. As for like the band name, like the font, if you see the logo and everything, the logo and the font, that was a cousin's, one of Eddie's cousins who I want to say I know he's locked up, but I think like in San Antonio area. I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that, but yeah.
Bexar County, the Bexar County.
But yeah, so no, his as soon as his cousin, like, because Eddie's parents were in touch with him, telling him, hey, they're starting to play live shows, this and that. He was like, bro, he sent him in like those drawings of just the name. Yeah, we kept that ever since. So that's our band logo, and then the ZK logo. Yeah, he drew that on a piece of art. You'll see it on our first band tee for all the OGs that have the first shirt that we put out. Yeah, it's a king with the crown and a scepter. Oh, and nice. On the scepter has that logo. I was like, we got to use that, man. Yeah. Cut it out. Wow. We sent it off, and they made a logo for us, and yeah. Dope. So awesome. That's where all that came from. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. A lot of it is done in house, man. Just like we've a lot of our music's in house with Robert Beltran, and then the music videos too. Yeah. So almost every video that we've done has been us. Yeah. With the exception of, I want to say the very first one, Exit Life, we worked with KC Coker. He used to be here in town. I think he's in Austin, based in Austin now. But he had done work for Shattered Sun and a few other metal bands here in town. He did that first one for us, and then there was Dead at the Scene from Dead to Life EP. Jake Gonzalez, Renee Guerrero. They worked on that video with us. They're still in town doing things. And these last two that we put out, or the last one that we put out, that was all us. Shout out to Epps, Ellington, Jesse Ochoa, who's on right now. Mm-hmm. And then we're working on the next release, which is the title track, Reveling. We're doing the finishing touches on that video as well. Yes. We've got just a few little things to add to it. And that's all us right there too, which has taken us a lot longer. Yeah. And that's really why it takes us a bit longer to roll out these releases and to get everything going, because we're doing it ourselves, man. Yeah, and it's a grind. Yeah, but it's worth it. Yeah, that's tough, man. So remind us again. So it's coming out June 2024? So the next drop, the Reveling title track off of the EP is going to drop, I want to say late May, early June, with a music video as well. So that's for anybody that's been following us, that's the update. There it is. Yeah, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna see it soon, real soon. Yeah, appreciate you guys. All right, man. Any message, words, encouragement for aspiring vocalists or musicians in the heavy metal scene? Man, I don't want to get all like too long and sappy about it, but I would say stop paying attention to whatever everyone else is doing. You can stay aware of the scene, and be aware of like every other band here locally, but pay attention to the people that paved the way for you personally, like as far as your influences go, whatever genres that may be. Look to those guys. That's where you want to be. That's your goal. So whether it's emulating or actually like putting in the work yourself, perfecting your craft. Block out a lot of the bullshit too, man. What we were saying earlier about the scenes, like haters being everywhere, it's never gonna stop. That's just how it is. I think it stopped for a little bit during COVID. I saw everybody come out and be very like gracious during that time. Wow. Because we weren't playing anywhere, we weren't doing anything. We're all sitting at home. We're like, man, we miss being out there, going to shows and throwing down in the pit and blah blah. It was beautiful for a little. For half a year or whatever. But now it's like back to the same old shit. Like everybody's hating on each other. Yeah. This guy sounds like whatever Cookie Monster shit. This guy can't sing. That guy can't play. Whatever. If I was there, I would do this and this instead. But block all that shit out, or use it. Use it to spark your fire. And tunnel vision helps, man. It's helped me. Like I'm Corpus Christi born and raised. Yeah. And I guess, I'm a part of the scene here, but I stay away for enough time. I stay away enough to help myself grow, outside of it. And when I come back and play shows or whatever in the scene, that's what the finished product is, man. And it helps to block those things out, or to just not even, we're well aware of like people who've talked shit, you know, and I still remember all of it, you know. It is what it is. Some of them are homies now. Some of them are like really cool with us now, you know.
Yeah.
Shit gets old. It's all in the past or whatever. But yeah, no, I would say do the same, man. That's what I did. That's what got me here. A lot of it was me being oblivious to a lot of that noise. Yeah, just focusing on what I can control. What can I control? What can I do? I can learn how to sing better.
Yes.
I can learn how to scream. I can learn how to project. I can learn how to write. I can learn how to, you know, come up with ideas.
Yeah.
You know, that was all it. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay focused on the goal.
Yep.
ZombieKing in the House by Belinda Rios. Well, man, appreciate you guys, everybody, for joining. Thanks for coming on the show. It was a good show. Hope everything works out for you, man. Anything else? We find you guys. You want to share your handles or your tags or whatever where we can find you guys?
So most of them you'll find like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, ZombieKing official. And for everybody just like searching in the search bar or whatever, it's ZombieKing, one word. You know. A lot of people tend to mess that up too.
Yeah, I put zombie and then I'll capitalize the K instead of putting
there
the
you
space.
go. Yeah. That's pretty much, you know what's up, man. Megadeth ain't no like Megadeth.
Right.
That's what I gotta tell people, man. There's so many people that still get it wrong, man. But that's it. You'll find us on there, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, iTunes, all of that. We're on all of it.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. If nothing else, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, brother.
Stay tuned, you guys, for the next few episodes, Corpus Christi Originals podcast. Thanks and shout out to Maya back there, the producer, making this all look nice for us. And you can shop CorpusChristiOriginals.com to get some merch to help support the show. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.